Virgo Rising, this is your monthly tarot reading for the month of February 2026. Oh, God. Yeah, it just immediately pops out like we're ready. Just get on with it. Too busy. You may use being busy as an excuse not to date. You must make time for a partner. Caveat here, I'm using a relationship deck to do this, but this card anyway. But we'll see how it relates to you in the reading. So, my name's Pod Kane. Been reading for about 12 years and happy to be reading for you today. Virgo rising. If you're a Virgo sun, you don't know your rising sign, check your full astrology chart. You need to have your exact time of birth and you're looking for your ascendant and then come back to the relevant reading. So, Virgo rising, I trust you're here. All right, so how you're showing up is a Page of Wands reverse. You're not really communicating very much with anyone. You're feeling uninspired and physically drained, not just emotionally or mentally or anything like that. Physically drained. What do you have? Might also be acting petty and out of character this month, February, right? What do you have? Ace of Wands reverse. Lacking energy, lacking purpose, don't have the will to fight. You're actually also looking at some things now with a new perspective, with the hangman. Something to do with stubbornness, a lack of steady security. Let's see. What is your mind on this month? What are you thinking about most? A lot, of course, but like something very important and pertinent to this reading, please. Your intuition, your purpose, what you know to be true in your heart. And you're taking it quite seriously because there's been a major end with you wanting to help others, you wanting to step in and take care of business. Also, your mental energies and faculties are drained. It's not really giving depression exactly. You could be dealing with that too, but like whatever. In this reading, it's talking about how you are feeling intuitively that a major shift has happened, and it has. I'm here to tell you, if you didn't know already, that Neptune just moved out of Pisces for the final time in all of our lifetimes, and it's been there since 2011. Think about how much has changed and happened since then, not just personally, but worldwide and everything like that. And Pisces is your opposite sign. It absolutely had a greater effect on you than some. So now it's moved on. And it's in Aries, which could be taking away a lot of the delusions and addictions and fantasy escapist type people that have been around you, people that are dealing with the lack of facts and the lack of attention to reality. But at the same time, you're also like, there's nothing more I have to give to these people. I've done it all. I feel in my heart that it's over now. Something major has changed in the way that I think about what I should be trusting and believing in. What's going on at home? Okay, someone's sad. There's depression and disillusionment in the home. People have got their guards up and they're just waiting to see. And they're also watching to see, is it worthwhile? Is this worthwhile? Someone in the home, could be you, you know, but I'm also seeing a Queen of Wands at the base of the deck, someone who's quite proud, who marches to the beat of their own drum. They are very, well, they show up as being a confident person. They look confident. Could be them. But there's definitely like, when you're at home, you're just like, what is this all for? I feel like I always have to have my guard up. Maybe you feel safest when you're at your home. You're not feeling quite as confident or secure outside. And you're hiding here with the sun reverse, as well as just feeling very despondent and low. You don't have time for your passions, or you don't have any that you're currently pursuing. Any type of extracurricular or hobby is just kind of fallen by the wayside. When we get the Page of Pentacles showing up, as there's a desire to learn something new. take on a new hobby, even one that could be potentially a future income stream has crossed your mind, something you can do from home. How are you expressing yourself in February, Virgo rising? How are you expressing yourself? I have to try hard not to think of the people I know that have these rising signs when I do these readings, because I'm really trying to make sure it appeals to like the collective and not just like one freaking person. Hopefully I get this right. You're expressing yourself as someone who's kind of stepped away from it all, and you're doing so to protect yourself, protect your assets, protect your money. Someone invites you out, you're like, no, thank you, and you're just sort of isolating here. But it's for practical and pragmatic reasons. And then we get the Empress. Of like, the Empress is a wonderful card. It's been showing up a lot lately, for good or for ill, and all the readings I've done so far. You're getting it in the positive light in your self-expression, which is wonderful. It's a Virgoan in the way of like flowing with nature, one's own personal nature. If we talk about our modern life, because who's living from spring till fall and do the harvest, and like those things occur in our life, right? But like it's not that. It's a metaphor. It's analogy. Okay, going with the seasons of life, letting things occur naturally. She still has boundaries. She still has standards. Trust and believe she has standards. But she also knows that, and this is male or female or wherever, like it's just a metaphor again. She also knows that like everything has its time, its season. And I think you're attending to the reality that you are energetically depleted, meaning like I'm tired all the time. I don't have the desire, or it's just a kind of despondency, lack of interest, lack of passion there with doing some of the things you used to do. And going back to the too busy card, it's saying you're using it as an excuse not to date. You've got to make time for the partner or for the right thing, the thing that you're wanting, which is, could be to learn something new, as what we saw here, but we'll see more later in the reading. But I think you can really trust yourself that at least withdrawing for a time in February is it's okay. It's good for you to shore up your reserves, but also to do a little bit of introspection. We got back with the Hangman, and looking at things in a new perspective, thinking about what the next steps are in this time of change, great change. It just sounded like, anyway, I'm not going to mention it. What's going on at work? For Virgo rising, always of primary importance. Lots of communication, particularly online. Maybe there's like a new communication system. Oh, we're on Sling now. It's a fucking, it's a whole mess. The 7 of Wands reversed is causing a little bit of upheaval. You're feeling like you don't have the higher ground anymore at work, if you did previously, or that's ongoing. You also have judgment. You have a new reckoning with some new reality. Something's been brought to your attention, and you found out about a truth, and it's really changed your perspective on why things have been happening. It's like an aha moment. Oh, okay, now it all makes sense. This recently happened to me at work. I can relate. Doesn't mean it solves all the problems, but at least you're not like scratching your head trying to figure out like, why is this happening? Now things are starting to make sense. And it could have to do with like some of the new messaging that's coming in, that's setting things kind of cattywampus and putting you in a place where you're like off balance, and you're just waiting to see 3 of Wands. You're waiting to see what's next. What are they going to say next? So what's it going to be? What's the benediction from on high, from the Queen of Swords? This, and this is a card for you as well, of someone who knows their truth. But then I feel like we're over here near the other person. This feels like this is someone who's like handing down the marching orders, and they're you're just waiting to hear. You're just waiting to find out, what are the new marching orders? What are the new circumstances I'm going to have to deal with next? The person most important to you, Virgo rising, what are they up to in February? Well, they're trying to control the whole situation and acting childish as fuck. Same situation, different day. They are actually jeopardizing the generational wealth and family structure at some level, creating a issue, and this could be an elder person as well, like a grandparent or parent, but like having to do with them. They're jeopardizing the harmony. They're sowing chaos because they think that they have some kind of right to tell people what to do, but they aren't. It's an unearned authority, and it's been an ongoing issue. It has. All right. What do other people have that's affecting you most in February? Virgo rising. What do other people have that's affecting you most in February? Breakups. Calling it like it is. Being very rational. Legal matters. Strategy. Okay. Okay. And then we look back over here to the 2. Ace of Wands reversed. And which is lack of enthusiasm, lack of inspiration. It's a blockage to a new plan of action. And then you've got the Hangman, which is like, hold up, we need to rethink everything. I need to withdraw and reconsider what the hell's happening. And then you have this over here where you're looking over at what other people are doing. Well, maybe they're saying, maybe they're doing. They're splitting up. You know, they're saying, hey, this wasn't worth it. I got to follow my own thing. I know what's right. I'm going to do my own thing. And they're being strategic about it. You got someone in your ear who could be an Aquarius or a Gemini or a Libra, who is giving you advice to break off your relationship like they did, or, okay, something like that could be. Take it or leave it. What are you learning about this month in February? The generational wealth. What about it? There's a new emotional beginning possible with unconditional love. Okay. Okay. Someone who was previously stubborn and unstable, and we got this, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right at the beginning as a pop out. Someone who used to be very stubborn is also experiencing some degree of change where they're flexibility is they're having more flexibility. They may be more open to suggestion or something like that. Let's look into that. Is there a person that's more open to suggestion? If so, you know, or more flexible, let's say. If so, what kind of change would they be willing to make? They're willing to learn also, or go back to school in a more literal sense. They're also willing to accept that you have a truth of your own. And that truth is that you are actually compassionate, giving, and things can be much easier when you know, you're taking care of all of the business, you're keeping everything afloat, and that you are worth listening to because you have the right way of it. Both of these chairs of these ladies are facing forward. That indicates in the tarot that it's a forward-moving, progressive momentum, someone that is working towards a future, someone that's looking towards the future. And the Queen of Swords, that can be sometimes detrimental of someone who expects and predicts things before they happen. That type of person can end up being kind of critical or judgmental. But with the Empress and the Page of Pentacles there, that's more of like it's just very grounded and pragmatic, and it's done in the interest of making sure that things run smoothly, things go easily, that there's enough money, food and bellies, and plus, and more than that. You're looking to be... You are the person that is looking not just for survival, but for thrival. Yeah, that. You're not just looking to survive, you're looking to thrive. You have a pretty damn good idea about how that might be. And your person is now finally ready to start taking your advice and being like, okay, actually, you do have a pretty good plan. That may not be said in so many words because they are, again, we saw that they were very stubborn, but it's that you're learning that unconditional love, loving them through the stubbornness, the chaos that they've created, their unearned authority, The repetition, you've been through a lot with this person, but unconditionally loving them is, if you can learn that, that'll be an opening to a new beginning. And that the way of structure that you previously expected and wanted, there may be another backdoor type of way to that. How can you unconditionally love someone who's put you through shit? Recognizing their emotional vulnerability and frailness, that if they were in a right state of emotional being, things would have absolutely been different. All the emotions, right? King, page, queen, they're all here. They're I think you're looking to them as you kind of see them as someone who is jealous, purposefully closed off, emotionally manipulative. And I think what we're getting here is the reality of them is that they're very new to emotional wisdom and knowledge. And that at one point they had a very pure, and still do, but it's been traumatized, right? They had a very pure and innocent heart, and that was not protected by them or their people or life. Things happen. And that person still exists. And now we get the Nine of Pentacles here. That person still exists, but it's not coming through that way because what they really need to be able to express this side of themselves, that's hopeful, positively spoken. They're speaking life and hope and joy and love into people instead of, drama and trauma. They need to have a purpose and they need their own security and well-being. They need a certain level of independence that they don't currently have. I'm seeing the snail here. It's very slow going. Very slow going. Okay, so now that we've gotten into all that, I'll just leave it. Okay, what has crystallized by the end of February 2026 for Virgo Rising? Okay. Oh shit. Tower. Okay. By the end of all of this, there's going to be a reckoning about how some little chit chatter has been going on behind the scenes, and it's going to create a fucking upheaval. It's going to create an upheaval. Why? Yeah, you're too busy. I can't. Something's been going on, like right in front of your face, but because you've been too distracted, it's something to do with your person and their attempt to gain greater independence and self-worth and even money. Something that is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. And it's definitely, again, like I was saying, something's been going on right in front of your face and you haven't noticed it because you've been too busy. Someone really dropped the ball of your joint, whatever project that you and this person were working on, whatever friendship you had, if you're in a relationship with them, or, there was something that you had a plan and a strategy of like, we're going to do this together. And it was like, and it's just a shared responsibility, period. They have totally dropped the ball on that shared responsibility. I'm getting it has to do with a person or a house. And they're like, why? It's like knocking them off their high horse. Like, oh, you try to say that you were this, that, and the third, but really you let all of this fall to shit, and you're going to realize that. And the lack of support as well is something here. Like, they were supposed to be partnering up with you, teaming up with you, supporting you, helping you with the responsibility, and they absconded from that because they don't want to compete. And again, like we saw with the Page of Cups and all the other Cups cards, like they are traumatized, this, that, and the third, right? But a desire to not compete is something that I see a lot in readings for our modern lives, because it's like I can just turn away from trying to strive for something better and just watch garbage on TV, or, imagine myself to be someone different, either through video games or through like an online persona, even though you're like, I'm presenting myself, but like, you're not telling them how you fucking let all the bills go unpaid or whatever, and now your house is getting repossessed or some shit. Like, I don't know. Anyway, there's a lack of the will or desire to compete, to actually try to achieve something real. And this person with their unearned authority has been wreaking havoc. They see themselves with this desire of, I want luxury, I want wealth, I want to have a purpose, I want to be independent. No one tells her what to do. She's in her walled garden, protected from all evils. Like, okay. He, she, they, whoever. Don't know who this is to you. It's up to you to figure that out. All right. And the larger group of people that you're closely associated with, beyond just this person and beyond work, like it, or maybe with work, whatever. The larger groups that you're associated with, what are they doing? And how's that affecting you? I think you're putting a lot of focus right now on mourning the loss of a dream. There's a lot of negative focus in other people right now, and you're kind of tapped into that. This could be leading you down that road of like, now this person over here is like, hey, or other people that you're kind of looking to maybe not even for advice or like instruction or anything like that, but just you're looking around and you're like, okay, other people, they cut this relationship off when they found out about this type of thing, where this person's absconded on their responsibilities and what they said they would do, because they just lack the freaking willpower to get out there and do what's necessary. And yeah, there's a lot of negative focus. The sun reversed, it's a lot of negative focus. I mean, I can't be shocked. Virgo rising, you come by it more naturally than most. What could really hold you back this month? Is there any progression to be seen? It's more just like shit's happening to you. What could hold you back this month? The world? Yeah. Okay. What other people are doing, what other people are saying, focusing too much on the greater world outside of yourself. Focusing in on the heartbreak of someone trying to utterly control every aspect of your life while having no action, no readiness, no responsibility or accountability to you or to anyone really. What's the remedy for all this shit? What's the remedy for all this? In regards to Virgo Rising's issues with this person that's just trying to control and dictate every aspect of their lives and hasn't really earned it, what's meant to be done here? What's the remedy? Survival. Okay. The crow is trapped in a bush as the hungry fox patiently waits for his meal. When we are in survival mode, we are restricted. Okay. Too busy. We, like the crow, cannot fly. This card calls your attention to how you're feeling about a situation. Are you hunkered down, waiting for the threat to be over, or are you moving, doing your best to find a path out? When we are in survival mode, our possibilities are limited by a creative mind solely focused on getting through a difficult situation. That's where all your creativity is being sat from, is you're just like, okay, I just need to get through this. I just need to get through this. I'm too busy. I don't have time to focus on solving any problems. And like I said, it just feels like everything's happening to you. I'm like, what? That's why we're here. I'm like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? It's in the space that we are not thinking about future opportunities. Again, this is in your nature to be future forward looking. And that's been taken away because you're so focused on just getting through a very difficult time. As the decisions we make are done so simply to release any immediate pain. Because of this, we risk accepting a quick fix that limits our growth. Okay. So, having said that, that implies that there is a solution to this, but it is going to inflict more pain, of which you already feel very overwhelmed with. And what that is not forthcoming in this reading, which means that by the end of February, it's going to be less about, figuring out what the quick or what the long-term fix is and what needs to be done, and more about recognizing that something needs to be done in the first place. Let's get a clarifying life situations for what's going on with Virgo rising in the month of February 2026 in regards to this reading. I mean, a lot's going on, but let's get some advice. True intentions. Stay authentic and aligned, trusting your inner wisdom to guide you towards genuine fulfillment. And again, Queen of Swords, she knows what she believes. She knows what she knows. The Empress has a great deal of faith. Open doors. You have many options, so take your time to choose what's right. So this is an ongoing progression of things happening. In February, we have literally just moved out of Neptune and Pisces. As I was saying, it's a big, big change, and this is just the beginning of a lot of change that's to come in the next, I don't know how long it's going to be in Aries, probably more than 15 years. So, this is a whole new cycle that we're facing, new choices, new circumstances. I think the permission for you to just focus on immediately what's important, like, I get it. And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for that. I'm not even going to tell you what you should do otherwise, other than listen to your body. If you need to take rest, then do so. As we kind of saw here at the beginning, be aware of this new perspective and new awareness coming in of like how things really are, but don't make any snap decisions yet. You're going to need to stay gathering information for quite some time, at least through the month, and till we get to a place of definitive action. All right, let's get some advice to make things as graceful and easy as possible for Virgo rising. Look around and find some signs the universe is speaking to you. You must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. Life can be hard and life can be wonderful. Which will you focus on? This deck is fucking locked the fuck in. Okay? Locked in. If you're new to using your intuition, signs come in all different directions. It can even be the random thing that your eyes come to rest upon. It's something that it pops up, or there should be some sense of knowing, could be a feeling, and then just like, okay, I think this has some importance. You don't have to be certain about it, but it has a certain quality, a certain element. It's hard to describe. I wish I could be more specific to you. This card at the Judgment card, this is the lightning bolt of reckoning. This is like I know it for certainty. And even though that thing that I know may come to doubt later on, it can never be totally removed. That certainty is so powerful, it hits you like the lightning bolt, which is why I mention that when I see that card and not the Tower card. The Tower card is a lightning bolt of its own, but whatever. Anyway, it's just like the shock of like revelation, right? It's like, oh my God, this is really what's going on. In terms of this, you must forgive if you want to be free. Do it for yourself. Someone or something's needing to be forgiven. It could be something you're working on for a longer term. Knowing a little bit, we did delve a little bit into your person's past, and how they're emotionally vulnerable because they've been hurt. And if that had never happened. They would be acting completely differently and things like that, despite all the damage that they've done, I'm sure, to you and others. This, for me, I found understanding things like this to be very helpful and radically forgiving people that I really were letting that whole hatred and resentment destroy me. And I didn't even have to say it to their face. I did it in my heart, and it changed everything for me. For me. It doesn't matter whether it changes them or not. That's not up to us. But it did have the potential to do that. It opened a doorway for that person to choose that. That maybe it was just a window before or something like that. Okay. But more than anything, it healed my heart. Like that no longer weighed on me at all. And it was something I had been carrying with me from a very young age and caused a lot of damage in the meantime. So, radical forgiveness, again, I've mentioned this in a couple other readings already. We're here. It's time. That's what we're doing. Um, Life can be hard and life can be wonderful. Which will you focus on? I mean, we've got the Five of Cups here and the Nine of Cups reversed. This is very much like I'm going to focus on what's horrible. You're going to see it. And we're looking at that. This is also like if something's happening on the internet and social media, things like that, that's where I'm going to see it. Focus on what is good and positive. Virgo, right? You want to attend to the truth. You want to attend to the truth. And I understand that. But if you're completely ignoring all the good and hope and like positive things and love and things that are good in this world, you're not attending to the truth. Don't even worry about, oh, I'm going to become so delusional like these people that have been in my life since 2011. You're not at risk of that at all. You're at risk of being the opposite. In fact, that's where you're at today. That's why so much of your energy's been drained. You've been looking for the negative and you've been finding it. Start looking for the positive. It starts with forgiveness and it starts for looking for a sign. You know, I feel like I should just tell people right at the beginning of this reading, if you want a quick summary and you're not trying to watch all this shit, just fast forward right to the end and I'll just tell you all that you need to know and we can skip the rest of the bullshit. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If this was helpful and you want a relationship reading, I'm going to be doing one on the Venus signs in the mid-month, and then we are doing a whole 2026 reading for sun signs later on. And like and subscribe if you can, if you want. It's really helpful to me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.